Ryan with Miss.Geek here. Remember me? Yeah, I'm that guy with the YouTube channel that used to post. I don't know when my last video was. Behind me is a building. It's about 10 by 10-ish, 12 by 12 maybe. It's sizable, but there's problems. You may have seen one of my more recent videos from, sometime in the last 12 months. I moved onto this property with the intent of buying it, and that almost didn't happen, but it is now in my name. I am the owner of it. The land I'm standing on belongs to me. That's the first. I've always been a renter, and now I'm not a renter anymore. I am a homeowner. By the way, the word homeowner has the word meow in it. I'm a home meowner. I don't know why that tickles me, but it does. The problem is that this building has a ton of junk in it. This building is also built in the 50s. And this building has seen better days. Now, there's some good stuff about this building, and there may be some plans for it. Right now, it's full of junk, and I need to sort through the worst of it. I'm going to get my buddy's trailer out here and do a dump run. It's going to cost some money, but anything that can be burned, I'm going to be burning. So, anyway, let me show you around what's going on here. So, this building is kind of cool. It's got a lot of neat things about it. Let me fix this here. There we go. And the problem is it's got a lot of junk in it. And this is largely storage from the old homeowner. That's been here for, well, she bought the place in 1995 and sold it to me here in 2025. So it's been 30 years. And I think a lot of this stuff has been in here for 30 years. Unfortunately, a lot of the timbers are in really good shape. But you can see there's, it's not exactly airtight. But it is a good building. I mean, you look at the structure of it. These are 4x4s, and I think that's a 2x6. And that might even be rough cut lumber. I'm not sure, but that's old lumber, and it's in really good condition. So I don't want to tear this building down because this building is actually solid. Now the floor. Well, of what you can see, I mean, a lot of the floor right now is pallets. Is that a Doors CD? Anyway, I'll be dipped. You can see through it. I mean, at the very least, it's going to need to be re-sided, and this could be turned into something really cool. I mean, this could be turned into a cabin that I could live in with a lot of work. The reason I'm talking about living in something like this is because the house is going to have to come down at some point, and you can look at my previous videos. But long story short, in 1953, when they bought this property, when this property was originally sold, I think from the railroad, I'm not sure about that, they moved a railroad bunkhouse to this property, and that's it over there. And they added on to it and did some stuff, but they never put it on a foundation. So as a result, it is sagging, and it's in bad shape. And I don't know what all this junk is in here, but I'm going to try to go through at least some of it today. I've got a half empty I'm going to try to fill that about halfway. It's empty right now. But anyway, this is one building, and by the way, you can see this other building over here, this one. I call that the lean-to shed, and it is in far worse shape than this, and it is going to come down. So that's going to have to happen. I want it to happen before winter. At least I want my plan. I want, if not down before winter, I want it cleaned out and all my stuff moved into a better shed by winter. And I have plans for that, but this isn't the shed I'm going to move that stuff into. I have reasons. Anyway, so yeah, that's where we're at. I'm going to try to clean a few things up, and I'll let you know if I find anything interesting along the way. She's a bit more than half full. Those are the boxes, and that is a Doors CD. I haven't decided if I want to keep it because this place kind of creeps me out a little bit. And when I have things that creep me out, I typically just throw them away and don't bother. But there are a ton of VHS tapes. And in fact, I threw away a whole box of them. There's some old tent. There's the sunset. And there's other tarps. This tarp's actually in pretty good condition. I mean, it's probably been in here for 30 years, so it's in good shape. But with all those VHS tapes, I thought, back in the day when you had to rent, what they always say, be kind, please rewind. VHS rewinder. Yep. A Kinyo brand. What does that say? Super Sum listed. Yeah, wind's picking up a little bit. You can see the dust blowing around. And I'm kind of dusty. Wish I'd worn a little N95 filter, honestly. Next time I come out here, I'm going to. But had to start somewhere, and this is where I'm starting. So, thanks for watching. Before we go, this is what the shed looks like. It's pretty cool. It's not weather tight at all, but I think the roof keeps the rain off things. But you can see the boards have shriveled up, and there used to be a window over here. There's a door over here, and there used to be another door over here. You can tell. Come around over here. At least I think that might have been. Nope, actually, that's just boards missing. Yep, but there's a clothesline over here. There's some stuff, because this was at one time a garden shed for a trailer that was on another part of the property, just over here. So, just right here, across from this, over there used to be a trailer. And so there's actually water hookups over here. There's a sewer. In fact, there's a sewer, a septic tank right in here somewhere, and power. In fact, I've got an electrician coming out to help me find out where all the power is on this property, because there is a lot of power on this property and it's not documented at all. I say a lot. There's some power on the property. So, gotta get that documented. And what do you think I should do with this shed? Should I turn it into something cool to Airbnb with? Which I'm not sure it would meet their standards. Of course, I mean, you'd have to rebuild it, but call it, keep some of the outside patina, but turn it into an Airbnb. Did I turn it into storage? Should I turn it into a shop? I mean, put a nice big fat door on one of these sides. You got a nice shop, because this over here, I'm trying to keep my neighbors out of the pictures. This over here is going to be my next little storage. I think that's probably about, 12 by 8, something like that. I haven't measured it, but it's getting moved over here. It's getting moved next to this because there's power on that. And I need power to work on stuff. So it's going to get moved over here. It's also going to get renovated a little bit. Has some issues, but everything on this property has some issues. Also getting a new outlet installed there, and going to have power properly fed to that. And by the way, this is one of the reasons I live out here. Can't see, it's not much of one tonight, but that's a heck of a sunset. It's beautiful. Again, trying to keep my neighbors out of it here. But, and yeah, you can probably hear the cows. But that's why we love living out here. So anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you got this far, I'm sorry. It's not much of a video. I do have a better camera I might use for videos more in the future, but probably not. Phone's too convenient. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you later. So a quick update. This is a lot more cleaned out than it was. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be gone through. A lot of it's on the floor, just small things that can go into trash bags. So there's that. There's a lot of good wood in this shed. If you look, I mean, I'm pretty sure that this bit right here, I think it's I want to say a 4x6 maybe, or it's huge. That beam is huge. That's a 4x4. Those, I don't know what those are. They're big. All this lumber is really large. And so it's definitely very useful. I mean, you look at the corners, those have got to be, let's see, come over here. I don't know, it's big. I don't have a tape measure on me and I don't care, but it's all old lumber and it's all really, really good quality. There's a piece up here that has never been, doesn't appear to have been used. It is notched for something, I'm not sure what. But anyway, they talk about good bones, and this structure has it. If not everywhere, then most everywhere. I can see some deficiencies in some of these beams over here, but I don't even know what stuff is called. But I see some deficiencies, but those can be handled. One of the bigger deficiencies is that the entire floor is just pallets. So what we're talking about doing is tearing everything out of here and pouring some concrete and then getting this thing onto a real foundation. I don't know that this structure can be moved, but if you look, the landing here, I don't know how big that is. I don't know how deep that is, but this is a very, very sturdy structure. So moving it's kind of out, but I think concrete is going to basically be formed inside of it or be poured inside of it. So we still haven't figured that out. But we have some plans for a shed. It's gonna be a workshop and possibly even a ham shack. We will see. So there are plans, but things are moving along. And I just thought I would post an update to the last video, which in which that video there was a lot more stuff, but that stuff is now in my buddy's trailer. So I'm very happy about that. So anyway, well, thanks for following along on this little dumb oh yeah, this all came from inside. There's some pretty decent lumber, some, it looks like some pressure treated lumber and pallets that look pretty old. Anyway, thanks for following along on this rather interesting, for me at least, deal. That roof is in good shape. It's watertight. All right, see you later. Bye.